Well, we all know Joe Budden left Everyday Struggle at Complex. He aired him out today on his podcast, and DJ Akademiks gave his thoughts on his Twitch last night. Check them both out. I'll link them both below so you can check them out for yourself. But let's talk about it. This is Jordan Tower JT News. Hit that bell, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to run ads on the channel, it's jordantowermedia@gmail.com. Well, Joe Budden talked about why the whole complex thing went down the way it did. He broke down how him and Akademiks were brought into the show. And Akademiks exposed how it was supposed to be a 15-minute show, and Joe molded the show of what it had to become, okay? Like an hour show and this and that. Joe Budden said that he wasn't with all the guests being on the show, but he played ball. They wanted him to wear clothing for advertising, and he didn't get pieced in. He talked about how many people worked on the show, 15 people. He said how Spotify was coming in to try to invest, advertising dollars into the show, and they wanted to speak about certain things, and Joe refused to. And I say all that to say this. Here's what is broken in this situation to me. If Joe Budden had all these problems, right, maybe Complex should have stopped being corporate and opened up the books and showed Joe how much it cost them to make the show, how much the show actually made. And because he made a point that their show increased the numbers over there. And it didn't increase it enough. And I'll show you right now, because you can check this for yourselves on Social Blade. Okay, this is public facts. Okay. Look at the graph, before and after Complex. It's the same. In fact, it dips down a little bit, then goes back up. In 2017, they had a nice April. April was great. I think that's when around the time they started, right? March, April. Yep, that's when the apocalypse happened. That's when they started. Then there was a little dip, and then it goes up. It depends on the topics you're talking about, but it was something new. Of course, there was a new wave, but think about it. Complex is doing between, around 30 million views a month. And they have a news channel. Complex News has, they do news every day. They do the Everyday Struggle. And they do some other sports show that's ass, okay? That Mila Kunis is on and some other people. Now, was Everyday Struggle great? Absolutely. The chemistry between Joe Budden and Akademiks were great. But the numbers weren't as big as they say they were. They were doing the same amount of subscribers. They peaked in April. Akademiks crew came over there. They did a little bit of a peak, okay? But they still were doing the same numbers. So it's not a numbers thing. But should they have played ball with Joe Budden and let them know? Because think about it. Even if Complex News was hovering around 22 million views per month before the Everyday Struggle, and they increased by 8 million views per month, right? Hour long, people were probably, the audience retention is probably really high on that. So the CPM, which means how much money they're making per minute watched, and there's a lot of factors that come into making money on YouTube. It was probably making a good amount of money, the show, it was probably making enough. Think about it. 15 people worked on that show that had to get paid. Okay. Now, is everybody on salary? Not everybody. Some people were dedicated to working on that show. You push them in. The money, these people are now casted on that show. The camera people, the mic people, everything that comes in, and they got to get paid too. So if Joe Budden and Akademiks were making, maybe they were making $10,000 a month each, maybe. I don't know. I don't know shit how much they were making. Hypothetically speaking, they were making that much, okay? Because like 8 million views, and you could say that at most 30,000, 16 to 30,000, possibly, so a month, and then you got to pay all these people. A few people were making a couple thousand. Joe Budden and Akademiks, I can imagine, were making the most money, and the Noah guy that executive produced it. So what they should have done is sat Joe Budden down and showed him how much money it made and how they needed the sponsorship to offset some of the expenses and all this other stuff. So they didn't spend the time to break it down, and it is their fault. Okay, and I always love how Joe Budden is outspoken, and he does champion the creator. Okay, and I hope that he and Akademiks could link back up because I did like their chemistry. Okay, and they can link back up and do another show. And I think if they do another show, you do it yourselves. You create a YouTube channel. Joe Budden has money. Akademiks has money. Pull your money together, rent a space, and film it yourselves. Just do it all yourselves because it's not worth it. And then you know how much money is coming in, and you can sell your own ads. And hey, it's a new age. Anyways, guys, what do you guys think? Hit that bell, hit that subscribe button, get in the comments below. And if you want to run ads on the channel, right there. And I appreciate you guys so much, and peace.